Okay, so today we are coming with some tea and talking about a very popular company in the wedding industry that you may or may not know, you may or may not love, David's Bridal, and if they are going out of business or not. So keep watching to find out. Hello, and welcome to the channel if you're new here, or welcome back if you are not. My name is Kayla, and I am the owner and lead wedding planner here at Transformed Events, where we help DIY couples to ball out on a budget. So, if you have not already heard, about 2 or so weeks ago, David's Bridal filed for a bankruptcy. This is the actual second time that they have had to file for bankruptcy in the last 5 years. And there's been so much chatter in the industry that they're going out of business and that they're closing all the stores and a bunch of other stuff that's been just like flying around the rumor mill with brides and vendors and everyone. So all of the rumors start by saying, number one, not having a clear definition of what it actually means to be bankrupt. So let's go ahead and talk about that first and foremost and get on the same page about what that means. So bankruptcy is actually not the end of the world. I know it sounds scary, but it certainly does not mean that a business is going completely out of business. In the simplest form, bankruptcy is a company or individual declaring that they are officially broke, basically, and that they have debt that they can't repay and they just need help with it. So it doesn't mean that they're closing all their stores. It doesn't mean that they're getting rid of all their inventory. It just means that they're broke. So David's Bridal, in this case, specifically filed for a Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And so according to the United States government, and I'm going to put a screenshot on the screen, this means, and I quote, "This chapter of bankruptcy code generally provides for reorganization, usually involving a corporation or partnership. A Chapter 11 debtor usually proposes a plan of reorganization to keep its business alive and pay creditors over time." So, in a nutshell, just means they're broke, they're going to reorganize, and they're going to pay their debt over time. And the CEO of David's Bridal actually came out and said that the stores itself are not going anywhere, but that they are planning on making some changes. So what really is happening with the company, to be honest? So they are looking for someone to buy it, and they're also laying off a ton of staff members, unfortunately, to try to cut some costs to stay afloat. However, if they don't find a buyer in a reasonable enough amount of time, which that time limit is undisclosed right now, then there is room to start getting a little bit concerned that maybe some of your local stores will be shut down, because brick and mortar stores have really high overhead costs, and it's tough to keep them going. Truly, just think about all of the things that you have to pay to keep your house or apartment afloat, right? You have to pay your rent or mortgage, you have to pay the light bill, you have to pay the water bill, whatever other bills that you have. Stores have all those same bills too, and so all of that is factored into their pricing, and sometimes it just doesn't cut it. So what the heck does this mean for you as a couple planning your wedding? Maybe you were interested in a dress at David's, right? Maybe you're thinking about shopping there. First of all, if you have a current and active order with David's and your wedding is taking place in the next few months, I truly would not worry at all. There is a chance that your specific store might experience some delays. It might have maybe reduced hours, or even some of the staff that you were familiar with may be getting laid off. But in the company's direct statement, they said, and I quote, that they intend to continue operating in the ordinary course, including by fulfilling all customer orders without disruption or delay. And to uphold its commitments to customers, employees, and partners, the company is seeking customary first-day relief from the court, including authorization to continue payment of employee wages and benefits, maintain certain customer programs, and honor obligations to critical vendors. So that said, I really do think that they'll do everything in their power they can to keep everything running smoothly and relatively normal for at least the next few months while they still can. Now, if your wedding is further out, like next year or the year after, it's a bit harder to predict what will happen next. So if they're able to find a buyer, that's wonderful, and you can go ahead and proceed as normal. But I personally don't think that I would feel all that comfortable myself or telling one of my couples to start an order now for a dress that might not be needed till next year. Because with the company on the rocks, the absolute last thing that I want for you is to be in a pinch later down the road if they aren't able to find a buyer and they can't fulfill your order, anything like that. However, if there's a dress there that you say have been eyeing for a while, you really love it and you really want it, and you've already kind of started the process, maybe you've put money down, there are still steps that you can take to be on the safer side and protect yourself. So for the first set of those people, if say you have not gone there yet, you have not put any money down, but there's a dress that you love, you want, or something just in the store that you love and you want, I would say you can go there. You can, still have your eyes set on that, and you should absolutely still go for it. But what I would encourage you to consider doing if you do go that route is to buy it off the rack and get it tailored somewhere else. So this will ensure that you are not affected by any of the staffing changes or hour changes or location shutdowns or inventory disruptions or anything like that, and you can still have the outfit that you wanted. But just please note with going that route that if you do decide to get your outfit tailored elsewhere instead of directly through David's, it forfeits you from the policy guarantees of going through David's Bridal themselves. So if it's altered incorrectly or something happens to it during alterations or anything like that, they won't be able to do anything about it if you don't go through them. So that is just a chance that you have to evaluate if the risk is worth the reward for that. For people who have already started the process, but your wedding is further out, you could also consider doing the same thing. So say if you ordered a dress already, you put money down, you can see if your process can be expedited a little, and maybe you get it earlier and you just have to get it retailored closer to the wedding later, instead of, waiting and spreading the alteration process out for a couple of months. And you can still kind of do everything now while it's safe. And then closer to the wedding, like I said, if you need re-alterations, if your body changes, anything like that, and they're still open, that's wonderful. And you can go back there for those re-alterations. And if not, no worries. And you can still have that dress and you can get things re-altered elsewhere. Or if you felt really, really uncomfortable with this whole situation, you could, in theory, go ahead and cancel your order, for which you may or may not get a full refund. You have to look at your own policies and whatnot. If you don't mind that small loss, if you don't get a refund, that's cool. If you can return anything that you've already purchased, that's cool. But again, I really don't think that it's necessary right at this moment when there are better options out there and when there's not really too much room for concern at this point in time. So the whole point of this video is for me to say that overall, there's no real reason to go into a panic at this moment, right? They're not completely going out of business right at this moment. Things might just look a little bit different. So if it was me personally, though, I wouldn't want to bet on anything long term just to stay on the safer side, because I am someone who likes to bet on the safer side. And by long term, I mean greater than the next immediate 6 to 8 months. And who knows, maybe it'll be a good thing for you budget brides if they do go out of business, because you can get some great discounts if they need to offload all of their inventory very quickly and have big out of business sales, But hope you take that information with a grain of salt. Hope you do your own research as well and seriously choose the best thing for you, regardless of if it's David's or not, and go with how you and your partner feel. So go ahead and let me know in the comments if this might affect you and what you plan on doing moving forward. And you can always go ahead and DM me over on Instagram at Transformed Events to chat about your specific situation or book a Pick My Brain session, which is linked in the description box below, so that we can chat about your specific situation and you can get some professional input. I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video as much as I did. Please go ahead and like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and share it with a friend who's looking for a wedding dress and was maybe thinking about going to David's Bridal. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!